the uncertainty of the world. That the world we find ourselves, nothing is certain. That the next hour is not guaranteed, the next day is not guaranteed. And so, if you have this clear understanding, then positioning becomes an important thing to do every time. If you have the clear understanding of the uncertainty of the world, then the key is positioning around the uncertainty. The key is positioning around the uncertainty. On many levels, we hear all kind of vocabularies from economists. We hear all kind of vocabularies from investors and so many other things that people use to position for uncertainty. But majority of us do not really know the essence of those things. We do not have the understanding of all of the jargons, all of the vocabularies that people try to push out. And that is why I'm trying to bring clarity to this understanding. Because when people talk about investment, when people talk about savings, when people talk about relationship capital and so many things, they are trying to position you around uncertainty of the world. That's it. Thank you. Thank you. Sign up. So when you hear all of these vocabularies, when you hear all of these languages, all they're trying to do is to help you position around the uncertainty of the world. But majority of people do not have this clear understanding. And that's why when those vocabularies speaks up, they do not know the purpose. And when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse of such thing is inevitable. Thank you, Kamal. Thank you, Kamal. Because what I do on this platform is, I do not say what is new here, but I say what majority of people do not have clarity around. I speak to content, I speak to topics that majority of people have heard over the period of time, but they do not have the deep understanding to them. Thank you. So if you do not have the understanding of a thing, abuse of such thing is inevitable. And so uncertainty is the biggest reason why we talk about savings, why we talk about investments, why we talk about relationship, why we talk about so many things in life, so that you can save yourself around uncertainty, so that you can position yourself around tomorrow that is not guaranteed. So we have got to have that understanding that the only certain thing in life is uncertainty. That you are stepping out today, you do not have that 100% guarantee that you are coming back. That as you are stepping out, you do not have the 100% assurance that you are coming back. Because no matter how you are so smart around navigating the road, someone else can come to hit you. That as you are about to invest your money into something, you do not have 100% guarantee of return, because something tragic can happen. Something dramatic can happen. We have the war that is going on now. A lot of people did not predict the war that is going on now. So they've invested their money. They've done businesses. They've done so many things. And today it is in shambles. The war that is going on has crumbled everything for some certain people. We remember what happened during COVID. A lot of people have done so many things, and then COVID came, put everything indoor. Everybody moved indoor, and nothing was working. And so if you have predicted 3 months ahead and then COVID came in, if you have invested your money in something and then COVID came in, so that is to tell you that nothing is guaranteed. Thank you, Hoga. So it is to tell you that the world you find yourself, nothing is guaranteed. And so if nothing is guaranteed, then what do you do? Positioning. And so what I'm saying here today is that when they talk about investment, when they talk about our savings and so many vocabularies that you've heard, they are just trying to position you around the uncertainty of the world, that nothing is guaranteed, that tomorrow is not certain. And so this conversation is going to then help you to have the reality around the uncertainty and how to position yourself in an uncertain world. And for all my videos, I often divide my videos into two. I speak to internal reality. I speak to external reality. Because my own understanding is that you cannot command what you have not built capacity for inside. It is not possible to command what you have not built internal capacity for. That no matter how you position yourself externally, if you have not built internal capacity around that thing, you cannot command it. And that is why most of my video always address internal reality before we talk about external reality. And so in this video, the first thing I will be talking about around the internal reality is the principle of detachment. That if you want to position yourself in an uncertain world, the first thing is that you have got to detach yourself from everything external. You have got to learn how to detach yourself from everything external. It is the concept I call the die before you die. Die before you die. That you have got to die from everything that you have before you physically die away from them. Because when you see anything as what you own, the day that that thing will leave, that will destabilize your reality. Your resources, you have to detach yourself from it. Your relation, everything around you, you have to learn how to detach. And when I'm talking about detachment, I'm not saying that you should not involve yourself, but you are involving from the reality that you do not own them. So you are involving yourself in everything with the reality that anything can happen in the nearest hour. The family you have, the relationship you have, the money you have, all the resources you have, that you can lose them in the next few days, in the next few hours. And that is the principle of detachment. That the first thing is that you have to detach yourself from everything external. You have to remove yourself from the equation. When it comes to investment opportunity, if you can build the concept of detachment to release your resources for investment, will be easy. So if you detach yourself from every resources you have to commit your resources into business, into investment, into anything, will be so easy and simple for you. And also, when you lost all of those things, it will not really destabilize you, because you know from the beginning that you do not own them. You do not own anything. Young Saka, thank you. So the concept of uncertainty, if you are to build the internal positioning around it, the first thing I speak to is the concept of detachment. Ome. It's the concept of detachment, that you have got to find a way to detach yourself from everything external. Allow them to operate on their own and you operate on your own. That at any point when anything happens to them, you will still be fine. You will still be stable internally. Because nothing is certain, nothing is stable, nothing is there forever. Eren, thank you. So the world you find yourself is not certain, tomorrow is not guaranteed, the next 1 hour is not guaranteed. And so positioning around them becomes important. Positioning around them becomes more important. C7. And so the first thing I speak to is the concept of detachment, that you've got to detach yourself from everything external. Your resources. You are making the money, but separate everything from yourself. Stand alone, let your resources stand alone. Stand alone, let your relationship stand alone. Stand alone, let your kids stand alone. Let your wife stand alone. Let your husband stand alone. Because tomorrow is not guaranteed. They might not be there tomorrow again. You might not be there tomorrow. Shift can happen. Relocation can happen. Separation can happen. Anything can happen. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. And so around the internal positioning, it is about detachment. It's about detaching yourself from everything external. Build that capacity to detach yourself from everything external. You do not own them. You do not own them. And you will not always have them. Sometimes you will invest some of your resources, it will go. Sometimes some of your relationships, something will happen. It is not guaranteed. It is not certain. And so I will be moving to the positioning around external reality. Positioning around external reality. Omar Farouk, thank you. Thank you. Omar Farouk, thank you. So positioning yourself around external reality, the first thing I will be speaking to around external reality is financial prudence. Because everything I will be speaking around external reality is about prudency. How you manage your relationship, how you manage your finances, how you manage your time. So the first thing I will be speaking about is financial prudency, financial management. That's the source, your source of income today is not certain, it's not guaranteed. Something can happen tomorrow and take it away. And so savings becomes important. And so diversification of your income resources becomes important. And so investing your resources you're having today becomes important. D123, thank you. Thank you. So because tomorrow is not certain, then the resources you have today financially becomes important to manage them. Your financial resources becomes one of the biggest tools you have to diversify, to invest, and to position yourself around the uncertainty of tomorrow. And so you've got to understand the concept of savings and know when to save. You've got to understand the concept of investment and know when to invest. And to understand how the money will become a tool for you. I often tell people that what money is for a defense. Money is meant for a defense. It's a tool that you need to defend yourself in an uncertain time. And so the conversation today is how to position yourself in an uncertain world. And so your resources today becomes what you need to use to position yourself around the uncertainty of tomorrow. So the first thing I speak to is financial prudency. Do not have that assurance that the next one is coming tomorrow. If you are working in an organization, do not always have the assurance that your next salary is certain. If you have one business, do not have the assurance that the next gig is coming tomorrow. Probably might not come. Something can happen. The war that is going on today was not predicted by anybody. And even the people who started the war did not know it's going to last up until now. And so the people who initiated the war does not have the guarantee of when the war will end it. And if you go around today, it has destroyed some people's businesses. If you go around the world today, the war that is going on now has destroyed some businesses. And so if those business owners had construct their mind that the next tomorrow is guaranteed, the next day is guaranteed, the money is going to come, the resources is going to come, and then the war came. I often take people to the reality of COVID-19. Look at how the world was locked down. And so it is nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is certain. And that is why positioning becomes the major thing. Positioning becomes important. You have to position yourself financially. You have to be prudent financially. You can lose that job. That businesses can go deep. That investment can go deep. How are you going to navigate that moment? What will sustain you through that moment? It's not certain. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. So the world that you found yourself is an uncertain world, and you have to have that clarity. That understanding must live with you that nothing is guaranteed here. Tomorrow is not certain. And so the resources I have today must be properly used. There must be prudency around my resources. I should not go about squandering my resources thinking that tomorrow another one is coming. Because the beauty of the world is that no one is coming for you. If you misuse your resources today, an uncertainty happens to you. Nobody is coming for you. Thank you, Mira. Nobody is coming for you. And so if uncertainty happens to you today and you have messed up your resources, no one is coming for you. And that is why the first thing I speak to is your financial prudence. You've got to be so careful with your resources financially. That is why you see people, you see someone that had yesterday, but today they do not have again. They had last 2 years, they do not have again today because there was no proper positioning. They did not emphasize the uncertainty of tomorrow. They did not operate from the uncertain world. And so when they have the resources today, they mess it up. When the resources comes in today, they mess it up. They do not learn how to diversify the resources. They do not learn how to save the resources. They do not learn how to invest the resources. It is not certain. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Your source of income tomorrow is not guaranteed. It is an uncertain world. It is an uncertain world. And so you have got to live with that understanding. The only certain thing is uncertainty. Because a lot of people do not subscribe to idea of savings, to idea of investment, to idea of financial management because they do not have the understanding of uncertainty. That's the basic, and that's the reason for this conversation. I want you to have the understanding of uncertainty. I want you to have the idea of uncertainty. Because if you do not have the idea of uncertainty, to misbehave is normal. To do anyhow around life is normal. But let me tell you, you cannot do anyhow here. You cannot do anyhow here. It's going to push you out. The system is going to push you out. And so, financial prudency becomes important. Manage what is coming now. Control what is coming in now. I often tell people, you've got to be generous with your income, but you have to be stingy with your expenses. What is coming in you must be so open. A lot must be coming in, but less must be going out. A lot must be coming in, but less must be going out. So you have to tighten your expenses. You have to tighten what is going out, but you must open what is coming in. That is, you must open as much as possible to source of incomes. Papi. So you must as open as possible to more source of income, but your expenses must be tightening because tomorrow is not guaranteed. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. And so your financial prudency must be at the top notch. Your job today can go away. Your business, your business today can go deep. And so you've got to subscribe to the idea of savings. You've got to subscribe to the idea of investment. You've got to subscribe to the idea of diversification. And the next thing I will be speaking to is relationship capital. You have to be prudent with your relationship. You have to build right relationship and you have to unlock the relationship. Because tomorrow is not, you might not have that relationship again tomorrow. That person that is so close to you today, if you cannot take advantage of them, they might not be there tomorrow again. It's not guaranteed. Tomorrow is not certain. That is the conversation. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. And so whatever you have today, you have to manage them properly. You have to position them properly. You have to make use of your relationship, your connection properly today, because you may lose them tomorrow. They might not be there again tomorrow. So if you have to learn anything from your connections, if you have to gain anything from your connection, gain it now. Gain it now. Have deep conversation with your connections, with your relationship. It is only now that you have. You do not have the next hour. You do not have the next day. There's a book called The Power of Now, that everything you have is only now. And for you to operate in now, it is understanding uncertainty. Understanding uncertainty, that the next hour is not certain. The next moment is not guaranteed. And so when you have any relationship now, you have to hold them tight. You have to unlock that relationship. What can you offer me? What is there? What do you have in stock? Engage your relationship. Ask them deep and critical questions. Create time to be with them and gain from them. Because you may lose them tomorrow. Because they might not be there again tomorrow. Not only through death, but Relocation can happen. Shift can happen. Separation can happen. Unlock your relationship and take advantage of your relationship now, because tomorrow is not certain. Tomorrow is not certain. Do not just have casual relationship with your networks. Ask them all you can ask them. Take all you can take. And then the next thing I will be talking about is time prudence. You have to be prudent with time. Because this is one that your people do not really use very well. And the reason is that people think it is constant, it is certain. I can always have the time. I can always go there tomorrow. I can always do it tomorrow. But that tomorrow is not guaranteed. The person you want to go and meet to do it tomorrow might not be there tomorrow. The resources that you will need to go there, you have it today, but you might not have it tomorrow again. You might not have the resources tomorrow again. And that's why you do not postpone, you do not delay, you do not procrastinate. Thank you, Papi Gray. Thank you. So you've got to be prudent with your time too. You've got to be conscious of your time, because tomorrow is not certain. If you need to build that skill today, today is the only time you have to build it. If you need to seek that connection today, today is the only time you have. You do not have tomorrow. And so do not postpone. Do not procrastinate. Do not extend anything, because the time is not yours. The time is not yours. The resources you have today to command that thing, if you postpone it, you might not have that resources again. The energy you have today to gain that thing, if you postpone it to tomorrow, you might not have it again tomorrow. The world is uncertain. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Nothing is certain. And so you have got to learn how to position yourself in an uncertain world. You have got to position yourself in an uncertain world. All you have now is yours. Anything outside that is not guaranteed. Thank you, Jackie. So understand the concept of uncertainty and run your life with uncertainty. That the job you have today, you can lose it the next 1 hour. And so what is coming out of that job now is the only thing you have. And you've got to manage it. You've got to use it rightly. You've got to channel it rightly. The relationship you have now is the only relationship you have. Unlock it. Use it very well. Because that person might shift tomorrow. That relationship, something might happen to it tomorrow. The person you call a friend today can become an enemy tomorrow. And so the only time you have access is when it's still your friend. The only time when you have access to that person is when you guys are still friends. And that is the only time you can take what you need to take. That is the only time you can access him. Position for uncertainty. Understand that nothing is certain. Understand that the world you live is not a certain world. Understand that the world you live is not a certain world. And so take everything you can take now. Take everything you can take right now. Take everything you can take right now. Now is all you have. Take advantage of everything. Your relationship, unlock it. Your time, make good use of it. And your finances, make good use of it. And then you can navigate the world and then position yourself properly. Yakub Oster, thank you. Yakub Oster. Imi Pollards. Imi Pollards. I'm a Nigerian, Imi Pollards. I'm a Nigerian. So, having this understanding will help you navigate your world and navigate your world properly. I often say, you met the system, you cannot fight the system. All you need to do in a system is to position yourself. You cannot fight the system. You only position yourself in a system. And if you have the uncertainty understanding, then you can position yourself rightly in that system. I've seen a lot of people fighting, complaining, protesting, and all of that in system. But let me tell you, no matter how you protest in a system, you cannot really change most of it. No matter how you protest and fight in a system, you cannot really change it. And so positioning becomes your best bet. Positioning remains your best bet. And so I've got to encourage you guys to have the understanding that the world you find yourself is not certain, and then you've got to position yourself. Position yourself. Externally position yourself, internally position yourself. I've spoken to the internal concept, which is detachment. The concept of detachment, that you do not own anything. That everything that you are looking at, they are not yours. Your resources are not yours. Because tomorrow something can happen. And so if you position yourself with the understanding of detachment, if anything happens to those things tomorrow, you'll be fine. If anything happens to those resources tomorrow, you'll be fine. If you have invested your money in any business, and the money goes, you will be fine. Because you have built the understanding that nothing is your own. That is the concept of detachment. That is the concept of detachment. And that speaks to internal reality. Your internal system will be stabilized. Your internal system will be stabilized. Thank you, Papi Gray. So build yourself around the uncertain world, and then you'll be fine. Build yourself around the uncertain world, and you will be fine. And that is what I feel like sharing with you guys today. Thank you so much for taking the time to come online, to come around. Papi Gray, thank you. Thank you. Assis. So thank you guys for coming online to listening to the conversations. And I hope we've been able to gain one or two things around the uncertain world. We've been able to gain one or two things around the uncertain world. That nothing is your own, nothing is yours. Nothing is certain, nothing is guaranteed. And so you have got to build positioning. You've got to position yourself. I wish you guys all the best.